how's everybody doing? Good? I'm very excited. I came in with a different topic. I wanted to go and think about, like, what if we could double our productivity? So I think this is really important for everything we do in our life, whether it's like business or same slide twice. It's really important. But, you know, when people think of productivity, I think they think of things like just as far as like business and career. But I think it's really important to use this in all aspects of your life because we neglect so many things that we're passionate about because we get lazy. So in this program, I want to show you guys how to get things done faster, how to have more time, how to use that to maybe make more money and have more fun. So is that okay with you guys? Yeah. Is that okay? All right, cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to remember my slides because when I looked at them, they were in front of me. Now they're behind me, so this is hard. And there seems to be every slide twice. So real quick history about me. I'm originally from Alberta, Canada. And when I was 20, I got into real estate investing. I worked on this like really crappy job drilling for oil on oil rigs, and I hated it. So I did what everybody at 20 years old should do, is dig yourself into a mountain of debt and go broke. So that was a ton of fun. I quit that job and got into real estate investing. And that was kind of what I called my lobster macaroni era, because I would make a bunch of money and eat like steak and lobster, and then completely blow it all and have to live on macaroni for weeks to months, because when you're young and naive, you think you're just going to make your business work overnight. So anyways, it took me a while to kind of get my act together. And what I did is I got into real estate investing, and then I turned that into an information product, which is what I do now, is sell information products online on real estate investing. So what I want to do is ask you guys, who here has ever procrastinated or put something off, like on a deadline, right? We've all done it. University of Calgary says 95% of us are procrastinators. Chicago University says 20% of us, of the population, is chronic procrastinators. So I want to see who the chronic procrastinators are in the room. And I'm just gonna think that's double because, you know, I'm sure there's a lot of us here, especially internet people, right? As we get those YouTube links and bounce around, we all do it. So what I wanted to do is, change this. So I wanted to create a system because people who procrastinate, they're less happy, they're not happy, they experience less happiness, live shorter lives, they're not healthy, and just don't get to experience life to the fullest. So I have the wrong slides right now. I changed my presentation, so this is great. I changed it, and we're using the old slides, so this is okay, but I'll remember it. Anyways, so I'm sure like a lot of you guys, you have like ADD mixed with your procrastination. This is what I do. I am like horrible ADD. So like I can be working on something, and somebody sends me that YouTube link, and I'm off on my tangent looking at, whatever it is, kittens and ponies, and then epic fail videos, which leads to something else, and then you get hungry and you get a snack, and then, okay, the day is gone. So my solution was I wanted to come up with a productivity system, and I tried a whole bunch of programs, right? And most of them did not work. So what we do is we all try these things in our calendar, we go through and try to become more productive. And one of the things that a lot of our programs don't have is certain factors that motivate us more than anything that I've ever seen, but most of us don't go ahead and implement that into our productivity system. So the solution here is I want you guys to think about this. The times when you have finished things in your life the fastest, there's been certain things involved. It's been accountability, punishment, commitment, and reward. So when we have those things mixed in, we tend to get things done faster, but we never take the time to incorporate that into our business and our personal lives, in my opinion, to really get more out of ourselves. So have you ever noticed how you'll go ahead and you'll bend over backwards to like do things for other people and neglect like all of the things you want to do for yourself? Generally, this is what a lot of people do, is they'll neglect their things to follow through on what they've made a commitment to do. So what I wanted to do is think about that, and there's something that happens there when you say to somebody, hey, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to follow through. Like, if you have to help a friend move, right? Has anybody ever had to help somebody move? And it sucks, right? But, you don't want to be that guy in the family that's like, oh, he said he'd help me move, but then he didn't show up, he got drunk and just didn't show up. So what happens, right, is your reputation with the family goes bad. And that's why when we hold ourselves accountable, we go ahead and we get more done. So have you ever noticed how, like, when you guys pack your suitcase for travel, you make sure that thing is the right weight? You notice how you usually pay your taxes on time if you're in the US. You don't overstay on your travel visas when you're traveling. Here's an example. Try traveling to the States and then overstaying on your visa and going back to the United States. They will give you the rubber glove. Ask me how I know that. And you never notice how when you get mad, you don't just punch people in the face, right? Because, that would look bad and you'd hurt your reputation. So what I wanted to do was create a system with punishment and penalties for accountability. And I created a system that I call 3 for 3 accountability. And I really believe you can double or triple your productivity by using this system. And what I've done is, if you combine elements into your productivity like punishment and reward, you can drastically improve what you're doing. So this 3 for 3 accountability system that you can create it's simple. You can go ahead and you can create it in Basecamp or create it in a Google Doc and create tasks for yourself and find an accountability partner or accountability buddy. Anybody ever watch South Park? Yeah. Then you know what the accountability buddy is? So find somebody that you can work with and you say to them, all right, hey, I want to work with you, or let's create our task management system together. So the way that looks is you say to them, all right, I'm going to go into Basecamp or a Google document, and I'm going to post a couple things that I want to go ahead and get done for the day. Now, I have to post an evidence factor. So if you guys were all on the internet, if you need to write like a blog post or something like that, the evidence could be like a picture of the blog post, anything like that. It could be, for example, if you need to send an email, you could show a picture of the sent email. And this works really good. Now, here's the kicker. If you go ahead and you create a penalty for yourself for not following through, you're activating a couple things in your head. First off, you're holding yourself accountable to your friend. And secondly, you create a penalty for yourself for not following through. So it could be like, paying that person money, or for me, my penalty is actually pretty aggressive. I actually have to flush money down the toilet. And it sucks. Has anybody ever flushed money down the toilet on purpose? Yeah, one person. So you create a penalty. Now, if you challenge yourself to create a penalty that's very harsh, for me, it's flushing money down the toilet. And the reason I do that is because I thought about, okay, if I give the money to somebody else, then they're going to hope for me to fail. And then I thought, if I give the money to charity, it's still, you're getting validation for failure for not going through with what you want to do. So I figured that flushing a few bucks down the toilet will exponentially help me contribute to mankind for how much more productive I'm going to be. Okay? So this works really well for me. So this is an example of how I set it up. I go into Basecamp, and in the morning, so for example, these are some things that I wanted to get done. I wanted to spend 30 minutes watching a training video by Evan Pagan. So the evidence equals I have to post notes of what I learned. Journal. I love journaling, but I never do it because I procrastinate. So evidence equals post the first line. Waking up. I hate waking up in the morning. So if I don't post, I'm up by 7:50. Before 8, I have to flush. My penalty is to flush $250 down the toilet. And you can bet your ass that motivates me to want to do this stuff, right? So I wanted a harsh penalty because I wanted to make this work. So you guys don't have to flush $250 down the toilet, but think of something, because this stuff doubles my productivity. When I do like an 80-20 and take the most effective things on my list. Like, for example, I had to create a landing page that day, and as you guys know, we're on the internet. Split testing landing pages is very, very important to do. And I needed to be done all this by 7. So the nice thing about like a Google Doc or Basecamp is you guys can have like a positive conversation with each other and encourage one another, right? And because he doesn't want to see me flush money down the toilet, we both encourage each other. So another way this works is at the end of the day, you post your evidence. Like I had to post the first sentence of my journal. Obviously, you don't want to post all of your journal so they could see the dirty details. But you just post a little bit, and you post your notes. And I had to post the landing page, and it's there. And it's the same thing. It creates a really positive environment. And it's amazing. I find that it just activates parts of your brain that other productivity systems don't have. You have what's called loss aversion. You don't want to lose that money. You're holding yourself accountable, and it works really good, and you give yourself a time deadline. So I run it at a Basecamp. I have it every day of the week. I choose a minimum of 3 days, and we can interact and comment with each other. And I just go make a to-do list. It shows up in his inbox, and we're all set. So this is where it gets fun. So what happens if you fail? it totally sucks. It totally sucks. So I was all stoked on this program. I'm like, yay, I'm doing so good. And last week I had a fail, and I had to flush some money down the toilet, and it sucked. So I had my task set up, and there's some swear words on the next page, so I hope you guys aren't offended, but I was pretty pissed off in the moment. So yeah, I failed my task. I set it all up for the day, and I ended up checking my email, and I had in my thing, my accountability, don't check email. And it's an integrity-based thing, and I found myself checking email, and I got pissed, and I was swearing a lot, because then I had to flush money down the toilet. Now, this is what it looks like when I fail.
Commence the
it's a failure ceremony.
Failure ritual here. 250 US down the toilet. I failed, fucked up. I didn't meet my requirements, so it's 250 US. So right now I'm in Malaysia, so I pulled ringgit. So it's like 750 ringgit. It's 250 US. It's hard. This is the first time I've ever actually ripped up money. I feel kind of nervous, actually. Here we go.
Fast forward a bit.
It's gay. It's kind of gay. I don't want to make this a habit. Here we go. Down the toilet it goes. It's actually kind of hard to rip. Not really. That sucks. Definitely don't want to do this again. All right. Down the toilet it goes, man. It's weird. It's such weirdness. All right. There it is. There it is. And there it goes. Bye-bye. Slowly going. It's going to be a double flusher.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man, that sucked.
So this motivates me very well, right? I don't want to flush money down. It's so painful. And the negative consequence that this puts into my brain, whenever I put things into this accountability task, it makes me do it. And since I've implemented this, my productivity has doubled, if not tripled, because I'm choosing like the 80-20, the 20% of my tasks that get me the best results. So like after this, I'm like, okay, screw it, I'm never gonna let that happen again. And 3 days later, I did it again. So this is I forgot that I put a time deadline on my accountability tasks, and I went, every afternoon I have a nap. I had a nap, I watched some TV, and I woke up 5 minutes before my deadline, and I forgot that I put a deadline on it. So we did this again 2 days later, and it sucked. So you can bet that, you know, I'm more motivated than ever. But the nice thing about it is this has given me freedom, because once I put things in my task manager, I can bet my ass that I'm going to get it done. And as long as I get it done, then the rest of the day is open. So I could go on about this for quite a while. We only have a few minutes. So what I did is, rather than, you know, keep talking, we all have other speakers to listen to, I just slapped up on a domain another video of me showing this system on my computer. So if you guys want to create something for yourself, you can go to this site. It's just a site with 2 videos. And I show you like a Basecamp overview of the system. So yeah, I want to challenge you guys and leave you with, you know, what if you could double your productivity? What would you do? You know, what would you do with your life, your time, and your money? And try to come up with something, some sort of system, and take yourself to the next level. Thank you.
Justin, anyone?
Sorry, don't worry about it.